All right, trucks at New Hampshire. Last week on this cursed setup, but that's okay. I'm running 12 to 1 here because of my wheel situation. Again, once again, it can be whatever you want. When I'm on my normal setup, I run 14 usually. Brake bias, I think I'm gonna run it at 65 just as a bit of a crutch. I think in general you might want it a little bit lower because what we're gonna be talking about later is that we're gonna be using the brake to try to finish our diamond. And the lower that we can get that brake bias, the better. But I'm a little sketchy on entry on these pedals, so that's why I'm raising it. So again, it's based on comfort. There's a more correct answer though for the brake bias. So, qualifying at New Hampshire and raceline at New Hampshire are two completely different things. Qualifying, I'm going to go for more of a diamond line, and raceline, I'm going to go for more of a just riding the white line until I cut down. So basically, kind of like a half diamond where we don't force the first part of the diamond. Should be a second lap, hot lap. Usually these shorter, flatter tracks are. We're just going to run two normal laps though, because we can just run it as hard as we can for both laps with no hurt. So I'm going to dive the corner a little bit deeper here, try to cut down a little bit more, let the car slide up the track, and then get the car to rotate the diamond and then back down the track like this. I could have entered definitely a little bit harder there on that corner, but on the cold tires, you never know. Turn 3, you don't want to dive too deep. It's a little bit harder to get into the corner here. But you see how I'm getting that turn down off the wall? That's what you want. So that's a decent lap to start out with. Let's see if we can push this entry a little bit harder here. Don't want to go too hard. But let the car slide up, turn the car off the wall. Keeping the car tight the whole way is very good for qualifying. And here, diving a little bit deeper than I have been, but this is the warm tire, should be good. Yep, very good. All right.
29.
So that should be pretty close. I'm sure you can get another tenth or so off of that, but this diamond line is going to be what you want to do. So we'll look at that second lap there. So going into the corner, I'm trying to keep my steering wheel under braking as straight as possible because look at this. This is more braking than I generally use. This is a short track. So on the short tracks, I go from my 20 to 30% brake and I up it to like 40 to 50%. But along with doing that, you have to keep in mind that the more brake you have inputted, the less steering wheel you can have inputted, or else you're going to just jump the shark. You're going to cut the string that connects your steering wheel and your brake, so to speak, and you'll lose grip in the right rear. And that's why if you have a higher brake bias, this might help you a little bit more in this phase. If I was on a minimum brake bias here, I think I would have already been spinning out by this point just by having this amount of wheel. So that's kind of where that comes into play. But you generally want to have the car pointed before you're on the brake so that you can have as little wheel as you can for this part of the diamond. So as we come into the diamond, you can really land in a variety of places. I kind of like to just barely clip under this seam here. So you can definitely go a little bit lower, like half a lane lower, and then come way back up. So it's not a exact science, which is nice. You can kind of land anywhere. You can even just stay on this top part the whole time. But right here, I'm really just trying to get the car to turn off the wall with the throttle. So notice here, I had to pump the throttle because the first time I came on the throttle, I noticed it wasn't rotating the car as much as I wanted to. So I did a quick pump and then finished the getting to 100% throttle, and that rotated the car. Take a look at what my wheel does this entire time. It's completely still. So your throttle is supposed to be the thing that is turning your car off the wall in a diamond. Okay? And if you do that, it's going to be a lot more consistent. The corner the corner of a exit, sorry, of a diamond is like trivial. The exit of the diamond should be easy if you can get the car to rotate off the wall with the throttle. Same thing with 3 and 4 here. Again, I'm spiking my brake. You never see me use this much brake, but it's a flat short track. This is the one time where we use the brake to slow down. We need to slow down for the corner. There's no banking to help us. But again, my wheel has to be straight when I'm spiking that brake. And then I can trail and get the car to diamond. I think I might have spiked the brake too much because you can see how I didn't even come close to the wall. I like coming a little bit closer to the wall than this because I have a better angle off the exit of the corner. The closer you get to the wall, the straighter your exit's going to be, and the more you can throttle through that exit. Not the end of the world if I only make it up to here. Like, that's safer. That's still fast enough. Expect to be a little bit looser off the corner when you don't come up all the way to the wall, because at that point you're holding more wheel in the car on that same exit. But other than that, it should be similar time, just as fine. But if you can really trust your car and get it close to that wall and have it rotate off the wall with the throttle, you will have an easy exit, you'll have a fast exit, and you'll have a straight exit. The entry is really where all of everything is made up in that case. For long run, there's a different way to approach New Hampshire, and it's basically just cutting out that first part of the entrance because what that drive up to the wall does is it really hurts your right front tire quite a bit. And New Hampshire, the car loves to lean on the right front tire on entry. So we're gonna do the same exit, but instead of entering early in the corner, we're gonna just keep the car up top and then just kind of more drag the brake the whole time until the car turns down on exit. That wasn't a great example there because I'm just getting up to speed. But instead of really cutting into the corner, we're just going to drag our way onto the center. And then we let the car rotate down the hill like this. You can see that we are a little bit off time, but it shouldn't matter too much in the course of a race. Nobody's really going to be able to take advantage of it. So again, no real sliding up on entry, and then just letting our car throttle down the track on exit. Kind of like IRP. This is a very similar track to IRP, just a little bit bigger. So early drag, we're going to just enter, instead of dive bombing, we're just going to let it roll. And then we just let the car turn down under throttle. And you can see we do that good, and we're a tenth and a half off for the corner. You can potentially get dive bombed like this in a race. So if somebody's like right on your bumper, I would dive a little bit deeper than I'm doing right now into the corner. But you're not even going to be able to do anything with that even from like a 2/10 back. Like, somebody has to be right on your bumper for them to take advantage of this line. So maybe off the restart, even there, like, see that, like, that's perfectly fine on tires, and I'm only losing a tenth to my all-time best. It's like, it's really fine. You just got to be patient. My biggest advice for this line is you cannot let your wheel turn your car down the corner. You have to trust your brake and your throttle to turn you down the hill. I blame my pedals there. I overslowed the car. But yeah, in the race itself, don't want to be spiking the brake that much. That's a qualifying thing. And you just let the car turn down the hill under throttle, and you straighten out that exit as much as you can. And you'll find that this tire wear is going to be very even compared to the people who are full diamonding every corner, because if you think about it, the car driving up the track and you turning off the wall, that's just the car leaning and leaning and leaning on the right front. Like, even here, I'm heating up the right front more than the right rear. Imagine what that does to the car when you're just dive bombing the entrance of every corner. So be disciplined on letting your car turn down the hill with your brake and your throttle and not your steering wheel. And that right front, you're gonna need it. There might be a lot of cautions in this race, but sometimes it strings out. So just be careful. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all on the track.